As a guy that has been told that there are spirits in my home right now, and I had that gut feeling before I even got confirmed, it doesn't scare me. I actually talk to him now. It's like when something weird happens, I actually talk to him.
You sure you're not just talking to yourself these days?
It could be. I mean, I'm drinking less. So each and every year, right around spooky season, we have Ed come in from Georgia Paranormal Investigations. And we have listeners hit us up with emails saying, hey, you guys probably want to come check out my house. I'm pretty sure I have spirits or ghosts in my house, and I would love to get confirmation. And it was Susanna that hit us from Forest Park and said, come on over, Ed. Hey, Susanna.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you today?
Doing all right.
All right. And you're alive.
All right.
We're already starting the day off with the win.
This is where we start. All right, so tell us about this home. How old is it? Do you know the history, the freaky things that are going on in that home? As I understand it, with your brother's had some stuff go on around him also, so tell us it all.
All right. So I actually didn't know this, but Ed was telling me that the house was built in the 40s. And I actually work at a pediatric hospital. And one day we were standing in front of some elevators, and we could see the floors and everything. And so the elevators were not moving at all. And she was telling me, we were just talking about something, and all of a sudden the doors opened. And she was like, hey, that means the spirit's trying to come home with you. And I was like, I believe in this stuff, but I was like, I don't know what you mean. They're trying to come home with you when the door opens. And she's like, no, like, you will not come home with me. And I just was like, all right, whatever. So that night, I actually just bought my house from my grandfather back in December of 2020. And this was the first few nights I was in there. And my brother had stayed there beforehand, and he was like, there's weird stuff that happens. A door, like there's one door there that goes upstairs, and it's a pretty solid lock. It's not just going to randomly open or anything. And that door all the time, like I'll wake up in the morning, come home, and that door is wide open. And I know I've closed it all the way during the night or the night before. And like I'll be upstairs, and then I know I close the door, come back down, the door's wide open again. And so I'm just like, you're wasting my air, man. Come on, what you doing? So let's see. I've had a couple friends spend the night, and they're showering and stuff. And it comes to this hallway, and they've seen like an actual person shadow thing like walk by. I've had two people tell me that they've seen it in two separate bathrooms, that they've seen someone walk by, and they're like, whoa.
Did they think there was somebody in the house and then realized there was not?
Yeah, because they were like, it was actually one of my coworkers. She was staying late, and I had already left for work. And she was like, Susanna, you still there? And I was like, nope. Or she had texted me. She's like, are you in the house? And I was like, no, I just got to work. And she's like, something just walked by the shower door, or like the bathroom door. And I was like,
now, do you warn friends before they spend the night that there might be some freaky things going on?
I mean,
it's the polite thing to do.
It's true. No, they actually, the ones that come over a lot know, because they've seen things themselves. But
and they still come back over, huh?
They do. They're true friends.
You must be a very generous friend.
Exactly. Yeah. And some have actually promised now they will never come back over with all this stuff happening. So, but anyways, kind of going back to the elevator. So that night, when the elevator opened, and my friend was like, "You will not come home with me," and she was like, "You need to say that," and I was like, "I just don't think I believe that,"
I'd say it anyway.
So I feel like even if I said it, I didn't mean it, so it wouldn't. I don't know. I just was like, okay, whatever. I just laughed it off. And later on that night, I was asleep on my stomach, and all of a sudden, I felt something jump on my back, like it woke me up, and it was weird because I could feel like their knees to their chest. It was almost like they're in a fetal position, and they wrapped around their arm came around and wrapped around my neck, and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I like roll on my back, because I'm like, what is this? And I'm laying on it. Like I'm up in the air. So I reach over to my nightstand trying to get something. And as soon as I like touch it or whatever, it like disappears. And I fall back on the bed. Now, I don't have abs. I'm not going to just like sit up here for no reason. So
I'm not going to waste all that energy.
Exactly. In the middle, because everybody's like, well, sleep paralysis. I was like, no, I was moving. And, they're like, well, you could have just been like not sleepwalking, but kind of just doing something in your dream. And I was like, I don't have abs. I can't do that, So, but anyways, I looked at the time and it was 3:38, which supposedly is witching hour.
Oh, really?
So yeah, what I've heard, I don't know if that's true or not, but and so I did not sleep the rest of the night. I actually called a night shift person of mine to talk me through, because I was like, it's almost 4:00 in the morning. Too scared for it.
So you actually felt.
Yes.
Like, it's not like you.
I could feel the knees on my back, and I could feel it felt like a small person, almost like an 8 or 9 or 10-year-old. Like, just like body. It was a small body. Like, I really thought someone was trying to kill me. I didn't think it was a ghost, especially me rolling over and like laying on them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is an actual person. And then soon when they disappeared, like I'm waking up, I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, what just happened? It was crazy.
That's creepy.
All right, yeah, that's very creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we brought Ed on over to your house from Georgia Paranormal Investigations. I told her off the air, we're not totally sure he's not a ghost as well. And I've said that to his face too, and he shows up every year at the same time. So he came over to your house with all of his equipment, seeing if he could find anything to confirm what you're already feeling. Yeah, he has. Okay, I can see on my sheet here there are at least 7 clips of ghosts in your house. We do this every single year, and if you have spirits or ghosts in your house, Ed will find them. Ed has come in here for a very long time from Georgia Paranormal Investigations, and we ask you guys every year, if you think you got something going on in your house, just hit us up, give us the details, and we'll send Ed over there. And Suzanne has been listening for years and years and years and came in this morning. She's got a house in Forest Park that was built in the 40s, and she has seen, or her friends have seen, like images of people running in the halls. She said one night she got really startled because it felt like there was like a little person on the back of on her back, literally choking her, and she turned over and there was nobody there. That's enough to think like, okay, maybe I should have somebody check this out. We missing anything there, Susanna?
I was actually just thinking, there's a room upstairs, have some chairs, and one of the chairs likes to rock back and forth. I had a friend, she was like, Susanna, come look. There are chairs rocking back and forth. So we go upstairs, and that thing is...
So you're seeing it.
I'm seeing it,
Right.
and I actually pull out my camera to videotape it, and it like instantly stops. It's not a gradual stop. It's basically the attic. There's no airflow. So I was like, there's nothing like forcing it to like rock back and forth like that.
Do you know any of the history of the house? You said it was your grandparents' home, right? Did they pass away in the house? Has anybody passed away in the house?
No, they just moved down to Florida, so they were just wanting to get rid of the house.
Right.
And but my grandfather, he did tell me, he was like, so there's something here. I don't know what it is. And he's like, you don't mess with it. It won't mess with you. Live in harmony together. And I was like, all right.
Okay. So we sent Ed in there. Hey, Ed, good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
Good, man. Okay. The show's yours, dude.
All right, thank you. Well, we first heard the reports of her and her friends seeing shadow people in the hallway. So we thought, well, this is a party house, right? You know, they like to have a lot of parties. But anyway, we got in there and we did our investigation. And while we were in there, we had several personal experiences going on. One of them was when we investigated her bedroom, we got this like perfume cologne smell every time we go in there, and then it would dissipate. So all 3 of us, experienced that. And then while we were investigating in her living room, her dining room is attached to it, and she has wooden chairs around. And you know how when somebody sits on a wooden chair, it kind of creaks, squeaks. Well, we heard that. Like somebody sat down behind us and they were watching us. And then a few minutes later, Bree and Brian both heard a disembodied woman's voice coming from the kitchen area.
These are people on your staff.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
those are the other 2 investigators with me at the time. And so I didn't hear it, but I was the closest one to the dining room, so I can't understand that. And then later on, Brian and I went into this room that's an office. And when he first walked in, he felt really cold, and I just felt normal temperature. But we were in there for a couple minutes, and all of a sudden it got hot, hotter than the rest of the house. And cannot explain that at all. It was just within a few minutes.
Have you experienced that before where it goes from cold to hot to back to
Yeah,
cold?
we
and
have.
stuff?
We have,
Damn.
yeah.
Okay.
And so, but Brian, when he experienced energy, his arm gets cold, and he'll feel like cold on the shoulder and arm. And he was feeling that, like something was in the room, but then it left after we'd been in there for a couple minutes. And so that was basically our experiences there, which was really remarkable. We don't get that all the time.
I was going to say, because you don't often hear like a disembodied voice. Like, I know you're going to play some of your EVPs, but when you guys are there and actually hear something, I feel like that's pretty special.
Oh, it definitely is. And what's better is when you can record it.
Yeah.
And that's happened several times, but several times we just get, the disembodied voice. Like this time, we didn't record it, unfortunately. In fact, the chair sounded like a pop. So it was really nondescript on the recorders. But it was something interesting that you could tell that something was sitting in there. So shall we go on to the EVPs?
Let's go, man. What'd you find?
Okay. On this one, Brian asked if you're trying to be playful, and we got the answer yes or yay.
Are you trying to be playful?
Ooh, yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Couldn't quite make out the word, but there's something else there. I'll play one more time, Katie.
Are you trying to be playful?
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, on the second one, Susanna was telling us that she's experienced things all over the place. So I said, did you come home with Susanna? And got the answer no. Did you come home with Susanna?
That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Suzanne.
Yeah, I know.
That is pretty clear right there. I wonder from a ghost standpoint, I wonder if it's like, I know they don't got emotions or anything, but I wonder if it's like, hey, finally people are talking to me. This is kind of pretty cool. Like,
And,
and do they know they're ghosts?
that's a good question. The second question is, why do we believe them? They could be lying to us, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to call them out.
You're
but
not going to
yeah.
call those lies.
Okay.
We don't decipher if they're lying or not, but
Well, now you need to start doing ghost lie detector tests, Ed.
okay, I'll work on the machine for that.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is Brian asked, so you don't want us to stay here? He had been talking about us staying the night and got the response, please don't.
So you don't want us to stay here?
It's weird, but you can definitely hear it. Play it again.
So you don't want us to stay here?
Yeah, that one you have to listen to several times.
Uh-huh.
Like your podcast, probably be a better place.
All right. These next four are undeniable.
Okay.
You will definitely hear this.
So we started off slow,
We start off slow.
but we're about to end hard.
We started with
the next four.
deniable.
The next four are great.
Okay, on this next one, we always run our recorders the whole time we're there. And a lot of times we don't ask questions. We don't get disembodied voices, but we do get responses on our recorders. And this one we caught when the recorder was rolling. It sounds like something whispering, go back.
Ooh.
Told you.
You don't got to play that one twice. Yep.
No, let's do it anyway.
Do that again.
Go back.
Go back.
Susanna, how you feeling, babe?
It's nerve wracking for sure. Whenever after they left, I was like, yeah, it's kind of hard to sleep.
I bet.
So this is probably won't get another week's worth of sleep. So it's all right. I'll catch up later.
Well, remember, they're telling us to go back, not you.
Right, you're
Okay,
safe.
Okay.
You're just the one they choked.
Okay, on the next one, again, the recorder caught this, and you'll hear a breath, then holy mackerel.
Shut up, Ed. You are lying. So I want to clarify. This is not coming from the EVP, like the radio box. This
No,
is
it's
like
not.
actual, like you just have your recordings because you record everything, and these are voices you heard on the recordings.
Correct. We're not having any EVP session. We're not
Yeah.
running the spirit box. We're just investigating, walking around, metering the house, and then they talk to us. And a lot of times we just can't hear it until we listen to the
Play
radio.
it again.
Dang. Okay.
That's clear right there.
On the next one, the same thing. We were just walking around, and we got this whispering there.
Just the whisper itself is freaky. Like, can't they speak? Do they have to whisper? Can't they just talk as regular voice?
I don't know.
I think they do that for fun.
Yeah.
Just for ass and giggles.
Okay, on the last one here, this was kind of weird. Last year, our recorder
And
caught.
it's all weird. It's all weird.
Yeah, it got weird when you walked in here, bro.
That ship has sailed.
Are you calling me weird?
No, no, not at all.
Anybody that does this is weird. So that's okay. On the last one, our recorders caught what sounded like someone making a bird sound, and this is weird.
Sounds like a crow, right?
Yeah.
Would there be any association with a crow or anything in the house?
Not that I know of, no.
Well, you got plenty there to chew on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was nighttime, so you don't normally hear crows at night.
Yeah, it was about 11 o'clock at night.
So that is undeniable.
Wow.
So it's just confirmed what you kind of already known.
Yeah.
I wouldn't handle it anything any differently, right? Just keep talking to everybody. Everybody's good.
That's what it is,
I
you
think
know?
your grandfather was right. Like, we're all cool.
Yeah.
Right? All right, Ed.
Just keep us out of it.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Thanks for
problem.
listening all these years, too.
No problem.
The Bert Show.